Good morning, YouTube, and today we're going to be reviewing a 2014 Hyundai Genesis Coupe. Alright, so today we got my boy car, Justin. Give him a shout out on YouTube. Hop on his channel, he's got some awesome gaming clips. So this is his 2014 Hyundai Genesis Coupe. It's the turbo model, 2.0 turbo. It's got 274 horsepower, 275 pounds of torque. It's probably got about 225 wheel horsepower. We're gonna check it out, see if this is one of the greatest sports cars on a budget. So exterior wise, the car looks amazing. We got this beautiful pearlescent white. See if the camera will pick up the pearl. Not sure if it's coming out on camera, but it's actually a really beautiful pearl. One thing I don't like is it's got some fake hood vents. I think Hyundai could have did a better job and just made them functional, but it is what it is. Under the hood we got the 2-liter turbo. Got some intercooler piping. This car is 100% stock. This is how you would get it if you bought it straight from Hyundai, which they discontinued it, so you can't get them new anymore. But yeah, it's got 275 horsepower, 274 pounds of torque. Got a little turbo down there. Car looks amazing. It's pretty quick. For a first sports car, this is probably one of your best bets to get for the money. Depending on the miles and where you're from, you probably pick one up for about 10 grand, 10 to 12, in pretty decent condition. This car exterior is almost flawless. That pearl looks so good in the sun. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but it looks really, really good. Got 4 seats. Back is pretty much useless, as with any sports car. The headroom, there's no headroom. Let's check out the interior now. Alright, now we're in the interior of the Genesis Coupe. So let's close out the door. There we go. Just regular Hyundai stuff. Got a very nice leather steering wheel. You got some hand controls for your volume, your mode, cruise control, Bluetooth calling, wireless calling, hands-free calling, whatever you want to call it. One really cool feature that Hyundai implemented in the second generation, which the BK2's Genesis, they added these gauges. They got fuel consumption, a boost gauge, and an oil temperature gauge. Now, it's really cool, but they're kind of in like an awkward spot. When you're driving, you gotta like look down over at the gauges. They're not the best to see. If they would have put the boost gauge first, it would have been easier to see. The boost gauge is kind of in the middle, you can't see it too well.
Yeah, it's more for like the chicks. When you got the chick in the passenger seat taking a look.
Got some 2 beautiful German Shepherds over there. So this is the base model Genesis Coupe. Like I said, there's pretty much no room in the back. I'll get back there and show you guys, but the way this roof is slanted right here, your head basically hits the back of this window right over here. So there's zero headroom. These back seats are useless unless you're like 4'2". There's a little lever behind the passenger seat that you just pull on the seat, send the seat forward. Let's wipe off my feet a little bit. And you get in the back. So like I said, there's zero headroom. Your head hits your head hits the rear windshield. So long ride, if you're in the back, it's not very comfortable. Like, you have to sit with your head cocked. Very little knee room. I have the seat almost all the way forward, and my knees are hitting the back. You can see over here, that's how I would sit in the driver's seat. There's zero knee room. It's almost the size of my fist. There's probably an extra 2 inches with my fist there. The back, you do get little pockets. If you have anything in these pockets, then you're definitely not having any good passengers back here. All right, let's get a little first drive of the 2014 Genesis Coupe. So as you would think of any sports car, suspension's gonna be stiff. And it's actually really stiff in the Genesis Coupe, even with the first model. So you pretty much feel every little bump that you hit. Sound is actually really good. Stock exhaust completely all the way through. It's way louder than the first generation ones by a whole lot. And actually power is boosted up a lot. I think the first ones have 210 horsepower, which after you take off what you lose between everything, it's probably like 170.
So this is the 8-speed automatic paddle shifter.
Yeah, we got the 8-speed auto. It's got a sport mode if you throw the shifter into the plus minus, and then you can just shift, go for the paddles, or you can shift with the shifter, slapstick, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, sound wise it's really good. Way louder than everything else. Steering's really good. It's really heavy for a budget sports car. Its handling is really good on this car. The paddle shifter response, it does have a little lag, but for a budget sports car, it's actually really good.
Yeah,
I've driven cars way worse with the responsiveness of the transmission.
Yeah, I feel like they definitely improved the response.
Yeah, they definitely.
At 2010, I feel like it wasn't responding and stopped working. This one's just amazing.
Yeah, response is good. Got a 7-speed automatic transmission, which is pretty nice. Get this couple extra gears. The BK1s, 2010 through 2012, only had 5 speeds. So the extra 2 gears helps out with the gearing a whole bunch. For this car, if you want to buy this car to mod it, there's a huge market for aftermarket parts. You can get anything you can think of. You get body kits, new bumpers, headlights, tail lights, any performance mod that you can think of. They do make a V6 version of that, which I have not driven yet, but soon to come on the channel. Keep your eye out. But yeah, its responsiveness of this car, steering's really heavy, feels really good. Paddle shifter response, as I said, it could be better, but it's not a McLaren or a Lamborghini. We don't have a dual clutch transmission or anything, so it's actually not bad considering all that. So all said and done, I would say the 2014 Hyundai Genesis Coupe, if you're young, a first-time buyer looking for a cheaper alternative to a sports car, not trying to get something like a Mustang or Challenger or just Camaro, anything of the regular, this is a little bit different from what everybody else has, and sportiness wise, great car, good responsiveness, nice and quick. So if you're looking for a cheaper alternative to a sports car, I would say this is better than FRS, BRZ, other things that are in its class. I would go for the Hyundai Genesis Coupe.